and then they snowballed it hard because of the numeric advantage on the map.
Yeah, like you said, it was 10-0 in terms of kills by the end of that game. They never found their angles. They had a Diablo, Tyrande, Li Ming composition. When you look at that, you're like, whoever gets engaged on is probably going to die. But then you look at the opponent's team, Medivh, the disengage from ETC, the disengage from Deckard Cain. They had everything they needed to prevent this.
I mean, to be fair, we talked to Method in the last games that they played in HGC a bit about that missing synergy that we sometimes have between Diablo and Tyrande. And Benny, when we talked to him, said straight up, listen, stuff like that shouldn't happen. Yeah. We made mistakes here in our own gameplay. This is something that we need to just like focus on a little bit more to find that synergy and see how we coordinate it. But that was completely missing in this particular game now too. When have you ever seen a Diablo engage into a Tyrande stun? It was basically not there. Yeah. And then we had some misplays as well, where Lauber nearly died on the ETC, was completely body blocked, and Rema just flips him over and allows him to escape here. If that kill happens against ETC, that's basically objective that you win.
Pretty much, but now let's have a look at where the next map is going to be. Where and who is going to take us? It's going to be EPunks map choice again. Monkey Menagerie opting for first pick. They are taking us to Volskaya Foundry Caldor.
Another map that can snowball quite heavily. Also, guys, keep in mind, I mean, if you're currently watching here, hashtag HGC and tweet @Heroes Esports and let us know what you think about the series. The first game is in. We expect this to still go a lot longer. It is a best of 7. Who do you think is going to take it? And do you feel that the Monkeys can bring it back? Yeah. Are the EPunks just going to crush through this? I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm hyped for this, and I can still see that we're having Monkeys coming in with maybe an odd draft at some point and say, okay, we can still take that. But the emotional aspects of this match also so important because we're actually looking at something where, as I said before, Grandpa Kete, he's so hyped about the series. He's been talking about it for ages. Like, every second day, I get some private DMs on Twitter from Grandpa's like, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win? Did you watch the last scrim? What do you think? Who's going to take it? And he is so hyped because he wants revenge. And he is already one step closer to getting that revenge against the Monkeys.
Exactly, and the other situation is Lauber, of course, a story that we followed for such a long time, where he came from flipping burgers at Max all the way into HGC and then lost that opportunity. In his words, when he played in the Crucible last time, I don't want to go back. He's now got his chance to avoid that again.
This entire team is just so fun for me because Sonic, when he wasn't picked up after MSB, because he's in such a contested role that a lot of people were surprised that he didn't get picked up, and it's like, oh my god, he's such a great player. The problem is he has a lot of promise and talent, but when you look at who he competes against, it's really tough. And then so he basically retires, and I'm just like, wait a second, Lauber just said he wants to play Open Division, Grandpa Kete said he wants to play Open Division. I'm like, boys, do you not want to talk to Sonic? And they're like, well, but he said he retired. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if you ask him if he wants to play with you, he's going to be back. And a week later, we have them coming together. They get Rosmek as too, and it's like, oh boy,
It was fantastic to see, but Monkey Menagerie, so much experience here as well. They have managed to hold steady in the middle of the table ever since HGC started. They want to hold on to their spot. And here is their chance as we do head to what is actually, we can't really look at statistics for Monkey Menagerie, but we can for EPunks. This is their worst map by a long way. It's 67% win rate compared to the usual 171% we have for other maps.
Now, when it comes to the maps and also the bans, the Genji ban is something that I think is going to happen every single game for the EPunks. Just simply because Manke is so good on Genji, and they know that Manke is he's one of the players on the side of the Monkeys that has the most drive. He wants it. He wants to stay in HGC. He wants to win this. And he has shown his carry potential in the past, how much of an impact he can have with the right heroes. So they are making sure that the Genji is not going to happen for Manke. Diablo even banned our tiers, a heavy focus already at the frontliners with Garrosh and Diablo banned, but now Deckard Cain as an early pick. Leaves up the Yrel you've been talking about for Chaos.
He's been dominating on it. Yrel and Blaze have been his two go-to heroes a lot of the time. But Maiev let through the draft here. They've played this a lot. They have 4-1 on it. And they still get that Yrel. I do like stealing away the Deckard because Grandpa Kete's second most played hero is Malfurion, who isn't as commonly played these days and suffers against Deckard due to Emerald. But it's denying Grandpa Kete and giving one of the most powerful heroes and engaged potential heroes in the form of Maiev and Cass's best hero in the form of Yrel over in exchange. Is that worth it?
it might definitely be here. I mean, the thing is, you mentioned Blaze, and I like that Monkeys immediately commit to Blaze.
Yeah.
Now that Kaz has picked Urel for himself, because you're talking Volskaya Foundry. You want to have control over the points, and two of the heroes that can do that the best with the sustain they have from the offlane perspective are Blaze with the bunker and also Urel. And I'm very sure that if Monkeys don't pick Urel here, don't pick the Blaze here after Urel was taken, it gets banned out.
Yeah.
So great choice from the Monkeys to immediately commit to Blaze and say, okay, we're drafting very heavily meta here. We want to make sure that we can control the checkpoint.
Yeah, area control with Decocade and Blaze is absolutely fantastic. There's that ETC ban with Diablo, Garrosh, and ETC banned out. Neither of these teams prioritizing tanks so far.
I mean, you can go Johanna here. There's no issue with that. You can
Muradin.
I mean, with Urel, you can even go Nubarak if you want to. You have Maiev, you have Urel. You could go into a Nubarak composition. Don't really think that's going to happen on Volskaya in particular. I feel Muradin and Johanna would probably be the better pick. Yeah. But depending on how aggressive you want to be, it's definitely an option.
Gul'dan sneaks in here, and Ana coming in for EPunks. I've been really excited seeing the rise of Ana over the last month, or over the last 2 months, but it's cool to see it coming in for EPunks. I believe this is their first Ana. I will double check that.
I've seen it a few times in their scrims, so in their training matches, they have been dabbling in her a bit.
They have one Ana on record for actual official matches.
This is also a problem, actually, that you mentioned right now, the record that they have. Because if you think about it, all right, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Uther taken here, so we have a double support, and we have Zul as a main tank. Taking a bit of a page out of the book of Octalysis in North America, who introduced Zul with the sustain that he has into the tank position at the front line. But let's come back to the stats that I was about to talk about, because a big problem for the HGC teams when you look at preparation for those series is, when were the playoffs? For Open Division?
A while ago.
It was a while ago. It's like, since then, there's a couple of things that happened. There's like new heroes that came in.
Meta changes.
Exactly, the meta changes. Patches. You have a couple of patches coming through. So you're looking at a data set as an HGC team where you're like, this is
out of date.
Maybe not useless, but it's very questionable what's going to happen here, because you don't have a lot of data. Whereas the Open Division teams have a lot of data to go on when they are looking at what the HGC teams played in the past, at least from a hero pool perspective.
They've seen Monkey Menagerie running Zul, although it was, I believe, different. I believe they were running it as the offlaner, I believe.
No, they actually ran a Zul in the main tank position too. Like, this is actually a draft. If EPunks wouldn't be... They ran this, a similar composition on Tomb of the Spider Queen once.
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if EPunks did not at least expect something like this coming out at some point.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you react to it? But now we have that double support with the Zul again. There's a lot of self-sustain on Zul himself. You have Uther with the Divine Shield even keeping him alive here. So it's an annoying draft to go up against, but EPunks should be ready for it. They should have seen this coming.
Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into game number 2. And once again, hailing from Pro Division, it is going to be Monkey Menagerie with Crosby, Remaballer, Splendor, Alex the Pro G, and of course, it's Make.
And over to the right side with a 1-0 lead in the best of 7 series here today. We have the EPunks once again with Cass on the offlane playing Urel in game number 2. Sonic Le Beast now on Maiev instead of the Medivh Grand Paquette. Playing Ana here, going for the snipes. Roskmek is playing Gul'dan, and Laub on the front line on Johanna this time.
Sonic, after moving on to this team, he has been taking a lot more of the melee styles of roles. His Maiev has been prolific in some of the games we have seen him play. But he used to be a main Gul'dan, so it's quite nice seeing Roskmek playing that this time.
I mean, one of the criticism that Sonic actually received in the past was that one of the reasons why he also looked good subbing in for Fnatic is that he played on a top team, where it's oftentimes a lot easier to look strong when the team that you play with is also very powerful. And he has been criticized, I mean, it's a long time ago, for his hero pool back then, because people said, well, he's focusing on 3-4 heroes, and if the draft doesn't fit those heroes, if some get banned out or picked away, we are struggling. So it made sense for him, as he said, to increase the hero pool and say, okay, this is a weakness that I maybe have. Let's just make sure that that isn't an issue if I go forward. Because he stated after HGC, when he subbed in for Fnatic, this is amazing. I want to experience this more. I now have the motivation to actually work hard for this, because I've experienced it firsthand what kind of feeling it is when you play at an offline event and how amazing that can be.
Exactly. Now we'll have to see if he's going to be able to do it. He's already one game closer, 4 wins away. Sorry, 3 wins away. I can count from becoming an HGC professional. And here we have just the lane set up very calmly, although a quite early fortification camp coming in from the EPunks.
Now, let's talk a bit about the monkeys here for a second, and especially the composition that they're using. If you look at that lineup, the first thing that really comes to mind is how unbelievably sustainable this setup is. And we're going to talk about this a lot more throughout the game. At this point, it's more about the biotic emitter, which is important here. Cass already about to be locked down. And Alex needs to be careful here on his blaze. Heavy commitment. Both of the teams really want the emitter.
So much armor was being applied to Alex, but it's not enough at this stage. They need to complete quests. They need to get certain talents before they get all of that sustain that will allow them to fight through this.
Exactly. Fight or flight, for example, for Reyna on the level 4 is going to be important. But if you just look at the setup and the map, you want to secure time on the objective, and the more sustainable your composition is and the more harder it is to break through it, the better for you. So right now we have Zul, who with the talents later on will have a lot of sustain for himself. We have a double support behind it, with Uther potentially even going into the Divine Shield so he can throw a panic button out whenever someone is about to die. You have a bunker available, and it's absolutely insane the sustain that we see here.
They're able to snipe it, stealing the turret, and they even kill Maka.
Wow.
He gains a couple stacks of Wave of Light on the way out, but that was just a walk in, take the stuff, kill the shopkeeper, and leave.
I was actually just about to say that one of the biggest aspects of this game for the EPunks is going to be that Horrify on Gul'dan to get kills later and interrupt the layers of defense that the monkeys have here. But that was a fantastic engage. Like, heavy engage, dropping a turret, but stealing one away. So basically, they just make sure that the monkeys will approach the first objective without a single item, whereas they have 2 in their arsenal.
Holy Fire coming in here from Uther, giving him that burning rage style of thing that increases with auto attacks, which is interesting, considering his W build with Wave of Light at level 1 can infer a bit more of a range style of Uther. Whereas if you're going for more auto attack focused, you might be seeing the Hammer of the Lightbringer at level 1. It's an interesting mix-up of talents here.
EPunks, they knew that monkeys could throw some weird stuff at them, and right now they, of course, prepared for that the entire time here. They already have the lead in the series, and if you look at game number 1, it's not only that they have the better position for the first objective and the Protector, they already have secured a very significant lead in experience for themselves too.
The Grim Scythe coming in for Zul. Standard talent these days. Get that cooldown reduction onto your Curse Strikes can be huge with sustain once you hit level 7. Reyna just eats so much corruption damage, but Ana also getting harassed a little bit, needs to be careful. Cass is just diving deep, but a great stun by Blaze, but no one to follow it.
And here's the biotic emitter. Immediately, the sustain that they have is insane. They're going for Alex here, who barely gets out, but this should be Protector number 1 in the hands of the EPunks. The level 7 is already in play, and there's the Protector. Of course, Grandpa Kate is still working on his stacks. He's currently sitting at 3 stacks for the piercing darts. It's going to be super important for him to at least get the first quest reward. You want to have that extended range that will allow you to stay a bit more safer in the back of the setup, especially since Zul the entire time was already looking for him, trying to get that Bone Prison so that the rest of the team can follow up and take Ana down.
Begin moving forward with this Protector. This is going to be the first fort of the game with ease. Protector just blast through that. Down to half health already. Sonic making Maka feel a little bit nervous, and Splendor just want to leave. They just grab the fort though, nice and calm. They used most of their items in the fight. They don't want to dive too far. Cass still has a turret though.
It's an interesting commitment though. Not going for the top lane to prepare for the second objective, instead just focusing on the experience here in the mid lane. Now they got the fort, that's great. But normally the idea is that you want to prepare the top lane for the second objective by taking out the opponent's fountain. Once you do that, they don't have the sustain on the lane anymore, and you have the chance to just simply force a reset throughout the fight where your opponent can't pull that off. So it's an interesting choice for the EPunks. Didn't really expect that.
Uther Sonic going a little bit maybe too deep, and no one turns around to follow up. Uther continuing though with the Hand of Protection, of course, so he's got a lot of auto attack synergy, but this Wave of Light, the armoring duration increase for Zul is why it is so important here. As we do see with that, once again, biotic emitter picked up by the EPunks from the support camp. They're quite happy just to move back into lanes, soak up, especially in mid lane, as they now have so much room to breathe there.
I mean, look at their experience alone. That's level 10 in their hands, a level ahead, and they can use that to be aggressive.
Now
Question just is, where are they going to go in for it? We also, besides that, have already 21 stacks for Gul'dan. That's fantastic for the Echo Corruption here. Grand Paquette, not really that successful yet when it comes to his own stacking process, sitting at 3. And here comes now the engage onto the fountain that we've been waiting for with the Protector. Now that they have their level 10 and their opponents don't have heroic abilities yet, they're saying, okay, this is the moment where we can actually start being aggressive here and make sure that that fountain is not going to be an issue.
IF joins the fray, decides not to hard engage though. They have two absolutely fantastic nano boost targets here in the form of Blossmeg and Sonic, where either one is going to gain so much benefit from this once they actually get into a fight, and with the ability to isolate that Divine Shield Uther with the containment disc here, this could be a huge issue for them.
And I mean, now the fountain is dead at the top lane too, so EPunks looking at a strong position for objective number 2. But the heroic abilities are in for the monkeys, and it gives us a Divine Storm as well.
I love this. Like we said, what's the biggest issue? Containment disc, denying the protection. So now you have the option. Do we still containment disc Uther just for the CC, or is it now more efficient to containment disc the Decade Cane, for example? But while that's happening, Uther can be marching in, getting that Divine Storm to interrupt the Maiev, interrupting the Rel when she tries to get in and get the value. This could be an incredible turnaround tool for them.
I also want to quickly point out one of the reasons why Azul is currently being played as a tank, or can be, especially with a double support setup. So now the Grim Sight on level 4 is already a cooldown reduction that you have through the Cursed Strikes. And then it's really that Harvest Vitality that you have on level 7, which makes up for a lot of this, since it heals you for the damage that you deal with Cursed Strike to heroes. Especially if there are not a lot of stuns on the opponent's side, where they can't hard CC you for like the entire duration of a potential kill. This can really help you to just like slice through a couple of opponents and get that hit point pool back up again.
Once you hit level 13 as well, you can go for Rapid Harvest, giving you that extra attack speed. If everyone groups up against you, which look at EPunks, that can be quite a groupy team with those triple frontliners. You are going to get so much sustain and so much value.
Camps are now taken, and this is where Alex just moved into the camp that they took earlier already. They haven't really captured it yet, but they took down all of those mercenaries early on. And this is really where you want to have 13 for the EPunks. Like, experience works in their favor. This is fantastic. Getting the extra talent for the second Protector is just such a huge advantage.
Now we see Marker moving on to the point, holding it as contested. No one actually gaining percentage here. It's a nice move in by the Menagerie. Yeah,
it's actually better from the EPunks perspective even, because they don't have Urel. She's just now starting to make her way up to the fight. Uther already trying to cut her off a little bit. But now that we have still Lauber contesting the point, Monkeys just have to back off. They never really got any percentage here. So right now, the EPunks are in such a great spot, and the Monkeys have to question now, what do we do? Do we get 13 somehow? Is that enough time? Do we just give up the second Protector? They are really starting to run the risk of getting heavily snowballed in this game.
We can see them moving into all 3 lanes immediately. They need level 13 before they can make this play. But EPunks, like you said, it's great. They know. Second Monkey Menagerie move away because they have to get 13. EPunks just grab another item. They have so many right now.
Exactly. Monkeys are trying to get at least a turret for themselves. But 2 biotic emitters in the hands of the EPunks, that is a massive, massive advantage through self-sustain. Here's the 13 for the Monkeys, but you can already tell that they're on a timer. Sonic is very late on the rotation, on the other hand. He is taking the safest path that he can possibly take so that he doesn't fall into a trap. They don't have vision on the map, so it's important for him to do that, but it also delays his entire engage towards the top.
All right, here's the overtime. This is the big commitment. They've got an item, they've got 13. This is the Menagerie's best chance. They move forward. Crosby and Alex Abroti staying on the point. Where is Zul? He's going for a big wraparound play with those skeleton army coming in. Can they make the play? Root on Rostbeg, but it doesn't matter because the containment disc is down and Uther gets deleted.
Great Horrify here once again by Gul'dan, and now that the bunker is out, immediately the Echoed Corruption comes through. Sonic is looking for the drag. Doesn't find it here, but a massive amount of items thrown down immediately. Triple turret on the ground with a Horrify. Easy kill on Uther.
EPunks just stole, I'm pretty sure they just stole another biotic emitter. I think Uther dropped it before he could, died before he could drop it. So they now just have another item as they move in with the Protector by top 4, maybe by top keep. They're diving forward.
Monkeys just get dumpstered on at this point. 15.5, a 2-level lead for the EPunks. They are looking absolutely fantastic here. The 16 talent tier is going to be absolutely amazing for them, especially, of course, for Rosbeck, who's going to get the Runer's Affliction. He's sitting on 31 stacks with this Gul'dan already. And now that they are taking down the top wall, they can think about maybe even pushing it towards the keep. Even though, admittedly, 11 minutes in, that would be stretching it a bit.
It would certainly be a little over-ambitious, but they're certainly trying. That corruption onto Crosby, again, dropping him a little low, but he's getting healed up quite quickly.
Gul'dan is going to have his ult back in 5 seconds.
There's nano boost on him. He's going to be able to have to turn around, though. He's taking a lot of damage, but immediately damage output coming out from him. He's getting healed up. Horrified completely zones Raider, but the Storm is pretty good. Rosbeck getting focused down. Can they finish him? And they can.
Fantastic Lornado. Lornado was absolutely fire here. That was what really won the fight for the Monkeys. This actually looked like they would lose it, but then the Lornado was absolutely on the money here. Cass jumping out, they're trying to retreat, and the Monkeys, of course, looking for more kills right now. They're re-engaged by Lauba, going in deep, trying to see if they can turn around here. He goes down, Marcus surviving, taken apart by Sonic on his Mayab.
Sonic's dropped too low, though. Once again, too ambitious, thinking he could get all those resets, but that engage, as the nano boost was dropped, forcing Gul'dan to do more running than fighting. A beautiful timing by Monkey Menagerie, and because of that, they saved their keep.
I mean, there's of course a lot more things that happened here, but in my personal opinion, Splendor single-handedly won that fight. That Lornado was absolutely perfect. It ruined Gul'dan. Absolutely ruined him. Not only did it provide the kill opportunity, it also basically didn't allow him to cast any spell, and now we're having a chance for the Monkeys to maybe get momentum on the map and maybe start a turnaround.
They have 16. They're back on even talents again. A 16 was hit during that fight for EPunks, but they'd already lost Gul'dan. With Maka being able to back away so low, staying in the fight for his team, that was a superb turnaround by them. But Cass putting on the pressure already, as he's actually getting turned on pretty hard here. There's a nice Hammer of Justice. Grand Paqueta getting Lornado'd out.
Splendor is a little bit far off here. If they can get the Dragon.
Oh, not great. The Tevo getting caught on the wall there. He's able to escape.
Yeah, it was the Hand of Protection from Uther that came through here and really helped them out. So that was a heads-up play by Uther. No doubt about that. Containment is. They're going for the item. They're going to get the turret easily. Remapola in the back goes in. They need to be careful here. The scythe is strong. Remapola still being attacked here. And out comes the Horrify and also Gul'dan with a continuous damage. The Echoed Corruption coming in. Zul is down, but so is Maiev.
Marka dropping very low once again, is forced to back up. Zul for Maiev. Can either team make more of a play? Marco with another stun. Turret is pinging Marka down, though. He's tanking through as best he can, but the turret finishes him off. But Cass getting Lornado has to out Defender just to back up here.
Yeah, safe play for him, but absolutely understandable. A great move against Alex. That was fantastic. Is it enough to take him down? Not quite.
Anti-heal expires, he gets a potion, he gets a fountain, he gets some of his own flame healing. He is able to back up, but that was tense. EPunks once again come out on top, but it's not coming easy to them at this point.
Yeah, the turnaround at the top 5 definitely took a bit of the momentum they had away. But now they're attempting to build that up again. They have the superior numbers on the map, so they immediately make the move towards the top and try to get another biotic emitter. And you look at the quest talents, Ana still sitting at 8 stacks on her level 1 with a piercing dart, so not really any rewards for Grand Paqueta just yet, but that's going to come in soon. But the Echoed Corruption and the Ruinous Affliction, just so great for Oskmak. He's doing work here. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be beautiful. As we see Loba, he's hovering on the point, gonna back up for now. Monkey Menagerie, they do control this point. EPunks, they are just about to hit level 19. It's unlikely they can deny this until 20. So the question is, how are they going to engage? When is their opportunity? They're already creeping forward with Gul'dan on the way.
And Gul'dan actually taking the safe path again. I love how safe the EPunks play the entire time. Never a direct route when there is any doubt where the opponent is positioned. I absolutely love that. Super safe from them, making sure that there are no traps set up for them. But now they are willing to fight here, and they have to, because Monkeys are about to get the first protector in this game for themselves.
Move forward, Alex. He's holding the point, though. We got the contestant at 99. When Monkey Menagerie tried this, it did not go well for them. EPunks, can they be a little luckier? That corruption hurts so much.
Roskmeg is in such a great spot here. Needs to be careful though, as Alex is starting to move in too. Cass providing some space for him, and they're starting to move back here. They need to be careful. They can't give this up, and they go in immediately with the biotic emitter. Already the bunker on the ground, so Hyperion is getting dropped. Containment just comes through. Here comes the stun from Uther. They're trying to go for Grand Paquette. He's low. He's about to go down. Survives, and the Horrify takes down 2 with a follow-up damage. Decker down, Reyna dead. Uther explodes, and Blaze eliminated.
Maka just got wrecked by the conveyor belt there, and that is a full 5-man team wipe. I wanted to make you feel like Trick was here, Caldor, as we see a huge pickup by EPunks. They're going to be able to grab the Protector if they want to, but everyone else is just running top, looking for that key.
20 already. The Protector, the bot lane secured by Johanna. They want to end the game here. The Protector is going to move topside, and they are already working on the keep. This is where EPunks are trying to get the 2-0 lead in the series. Monkeys with a bit of a comeback at the topside battle, but then the EPunks again with coordinated play just turning this around. Protector on the way now, and we already have the EPunks on the core.
They begin burning it down. Corruption just eating the shields, but Spawn Timers are only 17 minutes into the game. Monkey Menagerie, they are back, but the Protector wades through mid lane. It's going to be level 20 versus level 19. Monkey Menagerie, last chance. Containment disc onto Zul as they dive onto Crosby, but Alex the Prodigy is creating some great distractions here as Sonic is dropped low.
Yeah, Sonic is really low here, but we have another 2 seconds until Gul'dan has his ult again. So Roskmeg entering the Protector for now, but they could definitely try and play around that. They're trying to end the game here, but if they can't manage that, then they would have wasted an entire Protector.
Moving forward, Uther gets destroyed. No chance to cast that Divine Storm as Cass. He will get rooted. Armor reduction as well with that Zul talent, but it's not enough. Hyperion to zone, but it's getting nothing done. Crosby is the target here for the blow-up as Alex and Rema dive into the battle and get shut down by the Horrify. Rema's going to die to catapults here.
2 down,
GG.
3 gone, 4th also eliminated. Crosby, the last man standing, doesn't even matter. Containment just comes out. The EPunks, they go for the core. They take it down, and this is going to be the 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series against the Monkey Menagerie here at the European Crucible.
Superb play once again there by EPunks in that last fight. That Horrify was money coming in there.
Absolutely. And Monkeys, they have to question now, how do they break through the EPunks? And let's be honest here, with a performance like this, you don't deserve to be an HGC. EPunks are absolutely running the show in game 1, in game number 2. In game 1, not even a single kill for the Monkeys. They at least got a few in the second game here, especially in the top fight, of course. But outside of maybe overstaying the welcome a little bit at the topside battle, EPunks are playing a well-coordinated game. And again, the stuff that we don't see on the map, you can catch it on the minimap. I love how disciplined and safe they play. Every time, in game 1, in game 2, whenever a hero needs to transition between 2-3 lanes, it's the safest path they take. Every time they are missing vision on 1 or 2 heroes, the call, you can literally tell the call is, don't die.
Yeah.
Do not face check bushes, take the long path. We're going to buy some time here. You have all the time in the world. Just come in safe. If you fall, we could lose this. Don't just stagger these deaths. Make sure that you take a safe path towards a fight. And like having that attitude is what helps you win a best of 7.
Yeah, and speaking of time, Monkey Menagerie, they are just about to have some time to regather themselves and try and make the comeback in this best of 7 as we are going to head to a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We will come back with game number 3.